C and Mike Jones, they call the plays in the zone. Spit facts, no cap, straight to the bone. Gritter, roaring gossip, the field's their home. Huddle up, press play, you're never alone. Sunday sermons, but the church is turf. From Lambeau chills to Miami surf. Quarterback questions, they dissect the worth. Dropping gems like they mine the earth. Laces out, the mic stays hot. Breaking down the game, every yard, every plot. From kickoffs to OT, they never forgot. Tune into the squad, this the spot. NFL drama, they break it down surgical. Draft day whispers, moves so tactical. Receiver stretching arms, catches vertical. Big C's laugh hitting, vibes so magical. Mike Jones got stats like a human playbook. Big C's insight sharper than a no-look. Halftime debates, better than they should. You fumble the podcast, now you misunderstood. Flags fly, refs blind, penalty stack. They calling out the calls, no sugar, just facts. Fantasy picks, who's carrying the pack? Every week they hit harder than a linebacker smack. Laces out, the mic stays hot. Breaking down the game, every yard, every plot. From kickoffs to OT, they never forgot. Tune into the squad, this the spot. Laces out, the mic stays hot. Breaking down the game, every yard, every plot. From kickoffs to OT, they never forgot. Tune into the squad, this the spot. Sunday sermons, but the church is turf. From Lambeau chills to Miami surf. Quarterback questions, they dissect the worth. Dropping gems like they mine the earth. Laces out, the mic stays hot. Breaking down the game, every yard, every plot. From kickoffs to OT.
You could try to play, but you're never gonna beat me. Look the other way, what I'm doing ain't easy. Bloody hands stained from the people who deceive me. Muddy hands break through the chains, go free me. Looking for change, looking for pain. Pulling a mob, pushing a train. I'll never stop, stick to a lane. Pick up the pieces and go rearrange. I'll be the best above all the rest, put me to the test and expect nothing less, your check as I'm chess, what's happening next, yeah. He got the venom, a tangible weapon, no coming in second. This life is a lesson, he got a new engine from pain, it's a blessing. New focus, no guessing, just bold and obsession. All in his possession, you got their attention. I'll leave an impression and take your redemption. Just kill, no discretion, your mind is a weapon. 11-11, it's time for progression, You could try to play, but you're never gonna beat me. Look the other way, what I'm doing ain't easy. Bloody hands stained from the people who deceive me. Muddy hands break through the chains, go free me. People like sheep move feet, hurt it easy. You don't wanna be fast asleep when they see me. Better stand tall, ready for a fight, believe me. When they try.
What up, football fans? Welcome back to another episode of Laces Out Live. I'm your host, Big C. This is brought to you by Game Changers Media. And you all know the co-host with the most hosts, Michael Jones. What up?
What up, cuz? What up, cuz? You know, hey, sorry we weren't here Monday. Sorry we weren't here Tuesday. But we are here Wednesday, and you better goddamn well be ready to listen. I'm going to start off by saying that first week pick'ems, Mr. Big C 12-4, Mr. Mike Jones 11-5. So we have some making up to do this week. But before we get started, I really wanted to say I'd like to extend my condolences to friends and family of Charlie Kirk, 31-year-old father and husband, taken mid-sentence at one of his famously known college campus debates. He rallied young citizens in support of free speech and American dreams. He founded Turning Point USA at 18, which organized rallies, debates, and workshops promoting conservative views. He just lit a fire under Americans' youth, and he was taken in an untimely manner. I usually don't do politics, but I will break that rule today and say our hearts go out to his family and gone at a young age of 31 years old.
Are you serious? He was assassinated?
Yeah, it was Utah Valley University. He was mid-sentenced. They were talking about school shootings and violence, and he said 2 words, and there was a pop, and he went down.
That's crazy, bro.
Yep. So, you know, I leave my politics to a politics podcast that I do, but unfortunately I ain't doing one of those today. And, you know, I just wanted to put my heart out there and, you know, my condolences to his family, his 2 young children, 4 and 2, his beautiful wife, and, you know, took it too soon. And this is what happens with the rhetoric from the Democratic Party. What they say causes violence.
that's absurd. Like, you know, I checked this dude out, and you know, I've talked to you privately about, you know,
Yep.
this guy, you know, and he would get on there and he would debate people. He would debate college students, you know what I mean? And
Yeah.
he'd give his point of view and he'd listen to other people's point of views. And that's absolutely ridiculous that someone went and did that.
Yeah, I mean, the guy, he was a good dude. I mean, from everybody that I've heard from and seen about, he would debate you. He wouldn't criticize you. You're entitled to your opinion. He was a man of God. It's a shame. It's a shame in this day and age in the politics world that we live in, that the violence it's just getting worse, and something needs to be done about it. But I mean, other than that, I mean, you know, like I said, hearts out to his family, and it's a terrible thing.
Yeah, I mean, God bless them and stuff. That's a terrible thing. Regardless what your political views are, I mean,
Yeah.
this guy's not out there. You know, he's debating his side, his point of view, and to kill someone over their opinion is absolutely atrocious. You got to think that young lady that, you know, that I was talking to you about, you know, she going out into public, she's got to reconsider what she's doing, you know what I mean? Because
Yeah.
people are in danger. People are crazy. People are absolutely crazy.
Yep.
But yeah, sorry to start on such a somber note, but that is, I mean, I'm shocked. Like, I can't believe that. I really can't believe it. Like, you just blew my mind.
Sorry. Yeah,
like
it's
that shit
terrible.
really, you know what I mean? Like, I don't know the guy, and I don't know. I'm not a big politics guy. I'll be honest, you know what I mean? But like, I've listened to the guy a few times, you know what I mean? Some things he says I agree with, some things I don't agree with, but he would debate people, and you know, he gave everybody opportunity to voice their opinion, you know what I mean? And
Yeah. And that's what
just
that's
to
what
kill someone, like,
that's what it's
and I
about.
don't know how you think that is. How do you feel that is okay to kill someone over their political views or how they feel or how they think? And you know what I mean?
Exactly.
It just blows my mind.
I mean, 9 times out of 10, you think about it, you go places, you do things, and how many conversations have you struck up with people? You don't know whether they're Democrat, you don't know whether they're Republican. I mean, some you do, but for the most part, people don't talk politics in public view, public life, because a lot of times those views can cause issues. So, you know, I know plenty of Democrats that I've talked with that, you know, I get along with personally. We don't not see things the same way, but you know, it is what it is. And it's a sad state of our country when we have to worry about these people, political leaders, especially decent ones like Charlie Kirk, just having their life taken from them when he's in the middle of doing something that he loves, which I guess that's the way to go. But I mean, he's 31 years old, 2 kids. It's really sickening. Hopefully we get this addressed in our country, because this is not acceptable. But anyway, we are going to go into reaction. Well, it's supposed to be reaction Monday, but here we are Wednesday. So we'll go reaction Wednesday. Did you have anything else to say before we start?
No, I mean, Anthony, I know it's not one-sided. There's violent people that are Democratic and Republican. You know what I mean? Regardless of how you feel about the guy, I mean, like, he wasn't out there doing anything violent. You know what I mean? He was speaking word, and that's just for someone to be so young and that to happen. You know what I mean? It's just.
Oh, okay.
Listen, you know what I mean? I'm not. Whether you're Republican, Democrat, this ain't the place for that, you know, but it's just sad. It's just sad that the country comes to that, regardless if you're a Republican. You know what I mean? He could be very easily be a Democrat that's dead by the hand of a Republican, and I'd feel the same way. You know what I mean? So, and again, I don't have no political, you know what I mean? Ties
solid
to
political.
either.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's just sad.
Yep.
But anyway, yeah. What a crazy week one, right? Crazy week one. You know what I mean? A lot of surprises. I was having a rough time this weekend, obviously.
Yep,
and yeah. Well, I mean, you were expecting it more than I was. I mean, shit. And you
Yeah,
got some
but
things to look. You got some things to look forward to at least.
Yeah, but I wasn't expecting to score the least amount of points by any team in the first week. It's something. It's something when you sit there and you watch your team play really well together, regardless it was preseason. But then to come into the first week, you think everybody's pumped up, everybody's excited, and then to just see your offensive line literally look like a peewee fucking offensive line, it's absolutely just destroys your hopes. And then everybody wants to put in, we need to put in Jackson Dart. That's not going to change anything. Yes, he'll be able to probably avoid a lot of sacks. He'll probably be able to avoid certain situations. He can see over his linemen. But the problem is that offensive line is horrible. And, we constantly go out, we add defenders, we add wide receivers, we add running backs. But what the hell are we doing? 10 years now, this whole offensive line has been the same thing. We've talked about it over and over and over, and they just neglect to address the main problem with this Giants offense. And it was very disappointed. I was very disappointed.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, at least you lost to a good football team, sure. Man.
Yeah, but they even played like shit. Like they played like hell. I think Washington was sloppy. Daniels missed, I don't even know. I counted at least 5 or 6 passes that should have been caught. So, I mean, this could have been a lot worse, a lot more embarrassing, even more embarrassing than it was. It's just, I was frustrated this weekend. We had 7 attempts in the red zone and still couldn't score. Like, come on, it's pathetic. It is pathetic. It's the main thing.
At least you could get to the red zone. Dang, man. I think we got there once, man.
Yeah. Our second downs were atrocious. We had Washington in second and 14 plus, I think, 7 times. And on second and 14 plus, 6 out of the 7 plays on that second downs were first down plays. It's, Abdul Carter, he played amazing. But see, the coaching, there's something up with the coaching, because I don't know what you're doing wasting a talent like Abdul Carter, dropping him back to spy the quarterback. You're literally wasting him. You're wasting the hell out of Abdul Carter. He had like 38 snaps. It really is. It's pathetic. This guy is a guy we picked him up because we want to get to the quarterback, and you're going to drop him back to play quarterback spy. I just don't agree with it. Another week coming up, week 2 is coming up. We'll see what happens, but I'm not optimistic.
Well, that's the thing with this day and age of football. Elite pass rushers used to be defensive ends. Now the elite pass rushers are outside linebackers, and depending on what system you're in or the coaching scheme, they're dropping you back in coverage a percentage of your plays, which is not your strength. Your strength is getting after the quarterback. The Miami Dolphins do the same thing with Jalen Phillips, Bradley Chubb, Chop Robinson. Why are we dropping these guys in coverage? They should be straight defensive ends. Your job is to get after the quarterback, not out there covering tight ends, slot receiver. You know what I mean? Like, what are we doing? What are we doing?
Yeah, I totally get it. We're the first Giants, the first team to not score a touchdown in 3 straight openers since 1940, which from 40 to 42, it was the Lions. And it's just like, I'm watching all these other teams play, and they're putting up stats that are history making for a good thing. Like Daniel Jones, first quarterback to go score on every single drive of the game. And he was our quarterback. I'm tired of seeing people that leave the Giants, and it's starting to show that we've had people on our team, and Saquon Barkley, Xavier McKinney, now Daniel Jones. I mean, granted, it was his first game. I'm not going to blow that one out of proportion, but we have a knack for getting rid of players that are phenomenal. And then we get rid of phenomenal players, and we're fixing it. We're replacing them, and it ends up being shit. It's a shit show all over again every year, and it's repetitive.
Well, I had told you that. I had told you that about Daniel Jones, that he's not as bad as what the Giants made him look, but they're up front. I mean, look at Saquon Barkley. Besides his rookie year, he struggled. He couldn't stay healthy. He was getting hurt behind that offensive line. He wasn't productive, and it's all because the Giants have not fixed that offensive line. You know, Daniel Jones couldn't do anything there. And I'm not saying Daniel Jones is this great quarterback because he beat up on the Miami Dolphins. But Daniel Jones wasn't as bad as what the Giants made him look.
He definitely had a better O-line with the Colts. Like Russell Wilson was pressured 22 out of 45 dropbacks. That's 49% pressure. Like, and then on top of that, you already know Russ's worst stats are under pressure. When Russ is under pressure, he's trash. And that's just a fact. And he's older now, so it's even more of a fact, and it's more established. And you know these things, and you still didn't address the offensive line. Instead, you revamped our quarterback room. Yeah, you picked us up a hell of a defender, but what the hell is that defender going to do for us if we can't even go down the field and score a fucking touchdown? I mean, let's be real. It's sad. It's pathetic. It was a rough weekend for me. I won't say much because I know it was a rough weekend for you as well. I will say you beat me in the picks, but I got you in fantasy. So,
because Derek freaking Henry, I was beating your ass.
I know.
Derek Henry wanted to score 40 points or whatever he scored.
Oh, he scored.
I couldn't believe it. I thought I had the victory in that one, and I went to look back, and I was like, "What? I was supposed to beat you by 30."
It was fun. It was fun. Hell of a weekend. All right. So let's get into the first one. I'm going to put it right up here.
A little overreaction Wednesday instead of Monday, but yeah.
Colts AFC South frontrunners Indiana Jones takes them to the playoffs.
Is this an overreaction or justified?
The Colts are going to be AFC frontrunners, and Indiana Jones is going to take them to the playoffs. That's what I'm saying.
Listen, I think that's an overreaction. Yeah, the Colts looked good, but are they a product of the Miami Dolphins just being that bad? I need more evidence. Daniel Jones played good. He had broken a couple individual records, but as far as if you go back and watch the tape, Daniel Jones missed some passes that should have gone for touchdowns that he was off the mark. So I don't think it was so much Daniel Jones was phenomenal as much as it was the Miami Dolphins were bad. So I need to see more. Again, they played good against the Dolphins, but I'm curious to see what they look like against a team that has everything going for themselves. You know what I mean? And I think that Jacksonville, after Jacksonville looked really good this weekend. You got Houston, of course, with CJ Stroud and them boys. I don't think they got to worry about the Titans, but I need a couple more weeks of Daniel Jones performing at this level, the Colts performing at this level before I can give them the nod there.
Fair enough. I just know AFC South isn't really, the Houston Texans, they went 10-7 last year. I'm still not sold on CJ Stroud. But I think the Jaguars, like you said, they look halfway decent. I did read something that Hunter was going to end up playing more defensive snaps this coming week. So look for that. I'd have to agree. I think this is a bit of an overreaction, but honestly, that's how it felt. Especially me being a Giants fan. We get rid of a player, and of course Saquon wins a Super Bowl, and then he goes. It's just a repetitive thing. I think
they got a shot. I just think as far as calling them the front runners, I wouldn't go that far.
Okay, I agree. Josh Allen will repeat MVP, and Bills will be the number 1 AFC seed.
I will give Josh Allen will repeat MVP. Just because Josh Allen has to do more than the other guys have to do. I think he'll outperform Patrick Mahomes just because, there's two real dominant dual threat quarterbacks. That's Lamar Jackson and Josh Allen. Lamar Jackson clearly has more help than Josh Allen. Josh Allen has more responsibility. There's more on Josh Allen's plate. Josh Allen had a phenomenal game Sunday. Although I felt Baltimore was the better team.
Mm-hmm.
the Buffalo Bills, they won the football game. You know, a lesser quarterback won regardless of Derrick Henry's fumble. A lesser quarterback wouldn't have necessarily won that game regardless. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And Josh Allen is just phenomenal. He's out of this world. The things he does with limited supporting cast, because I don't think the Bills supporting cast is all that great. You know, he doesn't have a Derrick Henry in the backfield. Now James Cook he's a very good player, but he's not Derrick Henry. You know what I mean?
Right.
I don't think there's any receivers on the Bills that are as good as Zay Flowers, or you know what I mean?
Yeah,
but I'm not.
Flowers had a hell of a game too.
I'm not ready to say the Bills are going to be the number 1 seed though. With 4 minutes left in this game, Baltimore looked like they had the game wrapped up, and I don't think it's every day that you're going to get that lucky. The Bills had some lucky plays. They had a deflected pass that was called for a touchdown. You know, they got the field goal at the end of the half, and you know, I'll give them credit. You know, they drove the ball down, and yeah, there was time on the clock, but those plays aren't always going to go in your favor. You know what I mean? So a lot of things went in the Buffalo Bills' way. A lot of things had to go correct for them. So I'm not going to go as far as say that they're going to be the number 1 seed. Obviously, they're going to win the division. Right. They're going to be they're going to be either 1 or 2. You know what I mean? Baltimore's got some work to do, but
can you imagine being that kicker, Matt Prater, though, coming in and just you being the kicker to kick that game-winning field goal, man? That was probably one of the top games I've ever watched in my life. I'm not going to lie. I wanted to turn it off there for a minute, and all of a sudden I see Derrick Henry running up the field, and boom, ball pops out, and I'm like, oh, here we go. Because we've seen Josh Allen do this kind of stuff last year. I mean, you think they're done, you think they're out of it, and it's like these teams, you cannot fall asleep on Josh Allen. You cannot fall asleep on this Buffalo team. Half the stadium was leaving. Like, could you imagine all them people trying to get back in to see? And the people that couldn't get in, they paid the money to be there, and they missed one of the greatest games to be played in Buffalo. And this being the final year with that stadium, it's almost like it was meant to be. But you know, that kicker, man, I couldn't even imagine coming into a situation like that. That was pretty cool.
I ain't gonna lie, they showed him, and he looked old as shit.
Oh yeah, that's what I was.
He was dusty old. Old.
I was like, oh no. I was like, this dude is kicking for the win. You gotta be kidding me. Oh my, I was worried. Where'd you go, buddy?
I'm here.
Oh, sorry for the video. That's what I was gonna say. I was just gonna say sorry for the technical difficulties, folks. Big C's got to get a big green snobber out of his nostrils. But you want me to wait, or you want me to move on?
No, go.
All right. Chargers are the team to beat in the AFC West.
Oh, you know, the Chargers look great. Jim Harbaugh is a phenomenal coach. Justin Herbert last year was great. What do you have? I don't got his stats offhand, but 23 touchdowns, 3 interceptions, something like that. Played really efficient last year. Ladd McConkey's a great young receiver. He reminds me a lot of Puka over with the Rams. Just a guy that he's going to be in the right spot. He's got sure hands. He's going to catch the ball. Keenan Allen came back. He gives them that security blanket. I like this team a lot. Hampton looked really good, but I'm not ready to write off the Chiefs. I'm not ready to write off the Chiefs just yet. You know, this team surprises me. I know at some point, you know, they're going to have to come up off the crown and someone's going to overtake them in that division. And I think it will end up being the Chargers.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't know if this year is the year. When you got Pat Mahomes and Andy Reid, anything is possible. I still think they're until you beat them, you're gonna have to prove it to me first. You know what I mean? And yeah, I understand they beat them head to head, but until you take that crown, I still got to go with the defending champs.
I mean, yeah, the first game, obviously, Chargers, they get the win in their division. So, I mean, it gives them that. I believe the Chiefs were home in this game, so it gives them that edge too. It was kind of shocking to me that the Chargers, Broncos, and Raiders all won their first game, and the Chiefs are the ones that are sitting on the bottom. So, I was talking about it last year. I didn't think that Kansas City was going to go as far as they went, and they proved me wrong. That's what I get for talking down on them. They are still a great team. But I don't know. Maybe this gives me a little bit of a different feel. So I'm not going to sit here and make any proclamations week one. So I'm just going to let that go and we'll move on to the next subject.
Well, that's why it's overreaction. You know what I mean? Because
yeah,
you can't go off 1 week. The Chiefs defense looked not great. You know what I mean? They didn't look like that top performing unit that we've seen in years past. And the Chiefs have gone away from getting Patrick Mahomes' top weapons. Worthy going down with the separated shoulder. That's huge. That's huge for them. And I think that the Kansas City Chiefs, if they're going to want to win this division, they're going to eventually have to make a move if Worthy's going to miss any extended amount of time, because Rice isn't coming back for a month and a half.
Mm-hmm.
They might want to pick up that phone and call that 305 area code and see if they can't get a hold of Mr. Hill.
Mr. Hill. Yeah. All right. Vikings have a season like they had last year, only with JJ at QB.
Overreaction. Just because of how good Green Bay looked. Lions struggled last week, but I still think Lions are the better team over the Vikings. McCarthy looked great though. First half he struggled. First half he wasn't great, but that fourth quarter, that boy came out and balled out. Right?
Yeah.
He balled out. What do you have? 2 touchdown passes and a rushing touchdown.
Yep.
He brought them back from the depths to beat the Bears, get a division win. They got a strong defense. He's got talented wide receivers. I like Aaron Jones at running back. I don't think they can go. What did they go? 15-2, 14-3 last year. Yes. I don't think they're gonna be able to be that good this year, but I can definitely see them making the playoffs with JJ.
Fair enough. I'd have to agree. I feel like I need to see a little bit more, but that's why this is overreaction here, buddy.
Yeah, everything's you got to see a little bit more, right?
He definitely did, though. I was worried. I watched the first half of that game and I'm like, oh, damn. Because I was actually talking last year. I'm like, man, maybe we should pick up JJ. Maybe we should try to get our hands on this guy. And, not seeing him in NFL action like that, it's easy to say something like that. And when you're frustrated with your team as it is, but he definitely came out in the second half and he brought it home for him. So that was a pretty good game. There's a lot of good games this weekend. All right. NFC Championship will be played at Lambeau Field.
Oh, man. I'd have to. Again, I think this is it's a little too early to call that. I think Green Bay is going to be up there with, maybe 3 or 4 other teams, but it's too early to say that Green Bay is going to straight out win the conference.
Right.
The Philadelphia Eagles pulled off a victory against Dallas. Dallas looked way better than what I thought they were going to be. Philly didn't look quite as good as I thought they'd look. But Jalen Carter didn't play the whole game. Saquon didn't really get going. The receivers didn't get going. But Philly still won. I think Philly's still the favorite. And again, until you knock Philly off that, and I don't see it because I think Philly's got the most well-rounded team in all of football. I can't Philly's been there. Philly's done that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Green Bay still up and coming. Jordan Love, he's still got to prove some stuff to me. But Green Bay looked absolutely phenomenal. They look like they could have the best defense in all of football. If Jordan Love can match that on offense, there's absolutely a shot that the championship game could be played at Lambeau, and that's a tough matchup for anybody that have to go to Lambeau, the frozen tundra of Lambeau Field.
Well, maybe we'll get a better outlook because Philadelphia has to go to Kansas City this week. So, and that's going to be interesting. I'm kind of excited to see that one. But I'm excited for the Green Bay Packers. I mean, obviously Parsons came out. He played well. That defense looks really good. I picked Green Bay to win their division. So only time will tell.
You did do that?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure I picked Green Bay to win their division.
And listen, the Kansas City Chiefs, real life, could be start the season 0-2. You know what I mean? Like, they got they got Buffalo this year. That could be 3 losses. They probably got Baltimore. That could be 4. Them losses start piling up. It becomes more and more realistic that the Chargers could take that division.
Absolutely. All right. Aaron Rodgers found the fountain of youth and has MVP-like season. Not an MVP season, but an MVP-like season.
Oh, man. He's not going to put up the rushing numbers that Josh Allen or Lamar Jackson's going to. So he's not going to be in that conversation. Real life, I don't think. Again, he had a big game. Do you know what his overall stats were this week?
No, but I can look them up. I know he had 4 touchdowns.
Yeah. I mean, Aaron Rodgers is gonna, the accuracy is gonna be there. You know what I mean? And this defense, I think, is gonna get turnovers and give him an opportunity to put points on the board. So, they don't have a big time leading rusher. Who I don't even know who their leading running back is over there.
He went
73. Najee Harris.
Yep, he went 73.3% completion, 244 yards, 4 touchdowns, and had a rating of 136.7.
Yeah, I mean, Aaron had a pretty good second half of the season last year.
Is he continuing that? He did. You're right. He did because he was injured. You could tell he was favoring one of his calves or whatever. What was the Achilles or whatever that he came back from? But yeah, and you could definitely see him getting better towards the end, which is shocking for his age. And I thought that injury he's done, but he did start to turn things around towards the end of last season. Is it possible that he has an Aaron Rodgers-esque? Like I said, not an actual MVP season, but a MVP-ish like season. Obviously, he can't hang in there with the top quarterbacks right now.
Yeah, I think it's realistic that the guy can, if he can stay healthy, which is a if, at his age, I think it's possible that he could throw 35 plus touchdowns over 4,500 yards. You know what I mean? You got some weapons. You got Jonnu Smith. You got DK Metcalf. You got Kelvin Austin. I think it's absolutely possible. Brent says too big of an injury risk for me to say that. Shrug. Mike, make sure you put the link to the channel in the comments. Make sure y'all come over to Game Changers and subscribe, like. It helps us get in that algorithm. We're trying to build this channel up to bring you more and more great content. Or at least, maybe the content's not that great, but we have a good time over here, brother.
Aaron Rodgers was feeling good, though, going into them no good, lousy Jets house and Aaron Glenn and them Jets taking them down, man.
Scumbag, stinking, retarded Jets. And he let them know about it, too.
He did.
He seemed like he had an axe to grind with the Jets franchise. Like they didn't,
for sure.
Like they did him dirty, and they just kind of shat on him. And I would understand that. You're an all-time great quarterback, and you're going to choose Justin Fields over me. You don't want to bring me back. You know
For
what I mean?
real.
Like I was the
For real.
problem.
Mm-hmm.
So
Yeah,
I get
exactly.
the frustration.
Especially when he started turning it, like we talked about, he turned it on towards the end of the season and things were starting to look pretty good. I mean, you know, he was older. He had an injury at an older age. It takes time for these things, but he's definitely, that definitely worries me if he can stay healthy the whole season. But I think if he stays healthy, he's got a good chance of having a really good season, a really solid season.
I agree.
All right. It's the end of the Russell Wilson era and the start of the Dart era.
You know, I think we've had private conversations where I said that it did not make sense to start Wilson. You know what I mean? Like the Giants aren't a playoff team. The Giants aren't gonna be competing for a playoff spot. But what's the Giants' first month of the schedule look like?
Giants first month, it's rough. It really is. We go to the Cowboys this week, which obviously their offense looked pretty good and their defense looked like it was working on itself. Obviously, you got some new additions there.
The defense looked decent.
Week 3, we got the Chiefs.
Yeah.
Week 4, we got the Chargers.
Mm.
And then we got the Saints. Then we play the Eagles, Broncos, Eagles again. And then the first half of the season ends with the 49ers. We got the toughest schedule in the league, no doubt.
So I don't know if I'd throw my rookie quarterback out there to face that gauntlet. You know what I mean? I think after the 49ers game, yeah, absolutely put Jackson Dart in there, but feed Russell Wilson to the Wolves. You know what I mean? Like,
right.
Don't put your quarterback in a position that he's going to have all his confidence ripped from him right from the start. Don't put him in a position where he's going to get himself killed out there. You know, like I said, at the start of the season, I said it didn't make sense. Go out there, start Dart. You know what I mean? But with that, that's a murderer's row right there. And I think it's best if you feed Russell Wilson to the Wolves instead of your rookie quarterback.
Yeah, I'd have to agree with that there. It's like I feel like there's a lot of blame going around in different, it's Russ, it's this, it's that. But I mean, at the end of the day, this comes down to coaching. This comes down to the coaches and what is going on in that organization. You can't just hand the ball off and run up the middle when your interior offensive line can't move anybody. They're not moving anybody. They're not making any holes, but you're going to sit there and keep running in the same spot. And then, like, come on, like, your outside corners, you have to get your hands on the receivers. Like, you cannot let them get a free run. Otherwise, they're going to get beat every time. You have to jam them up. You have to take them off their route, and you have to throw the timing off. But that's part of the defense I was very upset with. I figured with Adebo coming in and Cordell Flott had a good preseason. I expected much more from the secondary, but the problem is when you went back and watched some of the video, they never jammed anybody up. Like, you got 5 yards. Get your damn hands on these guys, and if you knock them 3 yards off that timing, half the time that could be enough to either miss the pass, or you could possibly get a turnover on that. And I think there's just a lot of fundamental things that this Giants team isn't doing. And I think at the end of the day, this falls back on Coach Daboll and the offensive and defensive coordinator. And I'm not going to be nice to the coaching staff this year. I'm not going to say, oh, it was this, oh, it was that. If we're losing, it's because of coaching. We got good players. The only thing that we don't have good players on really is the offensive line. And we are missing Andrew Thomas, but Andrew Thomas has a hurt foot. And what's he look like? Is he going to stay uninjured? Is he going to come in and be that top left guard? Is he going to come in like it's left tackle? It's ridiculous. I'm getting out of this. I agree, though. I don't think you throw Russell Wilson in there to take a heat on, especially with the Chiefs coming, the Chargers coming, Eagles twice. It seems insane.
Denver's got one of the best defenses.
Yep. And then the Niners. Yeah. And then then the second half of the season, we still got Bears, Packers, Lions. We got the Patriots, Commanders, Vikings, Raiders, and Cowboys. It's still those are none of those are gimmies, really. I mean, especially with this Giants.
No, but it gives Jackson Dart an opportunity to learn the offense even better. You know what I mean? Get more comfortable with things.
I think it makes sense to try to make the Week 10, and that way he gets a half a season in before he gets his feet wet on a full season next year. I agree. All right. Ben Johnson's departure closes the Lions Super Bowl window.
I mean, Ben Johnson was a phenomenal offensive coordinator for the Lions. I mean, the Lions got a lot of talent over there, you know what I mean? And you know, regardless if they got the right guy at offensive coordinator right now or not, you know, you can find another offensive coordinator. It's too early. The Lions didn't look great week 1, but this team was 15-2 last year. You know, they got a bunch of talent. They got some of the best skill players in all the NFL. You got a great offensive line. The defense is healthy this year. Like I said, give it a couple weeks. You know what I mean? I don't think their window's closed, though. They got a lot of young talent. And yeah, there's too much young talent on this team. They're not an old team. You know what I mean? They don't got a quarterback that's on the verge of retirement or a running back that is at the end. You know what I mean? Like, all their guys are fairly young, and they got time to get it right.
Fair enough. I don't see him going 15 wins this year, though. I really don't. I think maybe 11 wins. I think even possibly 10, but we'll see. It's like we're just starting. All right, I left the last one for you. Let us know how you feel. Dolphins head coach Mike McDaniels will be fired by week 4.
Oh,
that's a good one.
Dolphins head coach Mike McDaniel will be fired by week 4. Listen, it's hard to say. Did the Miami Dolphins come out and just have a bad day? Did they just come out and have a bad day? You know, I would love to say that. You know, we came out week 1. It was just a bad day at the office. But I think the problems are deeper than that. I think there is a disconnect between this team and the head coach, this team and the quarterback. I think it's kind of like Mike McDaniel and Tua Tagovailoa are on one side of the, you know, one side, and the rest of the team is on the other. You know, Mike McDaniel and Tua are the only ones that feel like they can get the job done, and everybody else is looking over there like, you know, you guys are screwing things up.
Right. But do you think it's an overreaction for someone to say that Mike McDaniel will be gone by week 4? Do you think that's an overreaction, or in my opinion, I think it's a plausible thing.
No, I mean, if they show up and don't show up like they did week 1 this week at home versus the Patriots, I could see him gone after this weekend. If they play as badly as they did against Indy at home in front of Stephen Ross, in front of the fan base, man, you know, they might have to get protection for Tua and Mike McDaniel leave the stadium. You know, like,
yeah.
I don't see how you don't fire them. Right. Yeah, you know, Stephen Ross said at the end of the year last year that status quo will not be tolerated, won't be good enough. You know what I mean? This is worse than status quo. This is worse than we've ever seen them. And, you know, I could see, you know, there's 2 ways I can see this going this weekend. I can see us not showing up against the Patriots like we did against Indy, because, I mean, we were just so bad against Indy in all 3 phases, offensively, defensively, special teams, that I feel like there's just so many issues that there's no fixing. Or Tua comes out and has 3-4 touchdown game, 300 yards passing, and it gives all these fans false hope. You know what I mean? Like, oh, well, It was just a bad day. And then we go get our brakes beat off in Buffalo. You know what I mean? Like,
right.
And then, you know, But yeah, I think by week 5, absolutely he could be fired. Again, I think if he doesn't show up, they don't show up to play again this week. I think it could be as early as this week. But then again, Stephen Ross, he's failed to pull the trigger on doing what's needed, getting rid of people when he should be getting rid of them. Look at Chris Greer. Chris Greer should have been fired before. Mike McDaniel and Chris Greer should have been fired after last year, to be honest. They should have been fired when Tua got hurt again last year, because Mike McDaniel went out on a limb to get to his contract. Chris Greer co-signed it. Chris Greer is responsible for drafting a quarterback that is constantly injured, and then we go give him $55+ million a year. Like, it's absolutely ridiculous. But I could see it happening.
Hey man, they had me fooled. I picked the Dolphins week 1. I really did. I was definitely hoping for better. You know, I don't really try to put people's teams down. There's very few teams that I won't be like, you know, they're good or whatever. But you know, I was very disappointed in that. I thought it was going to be a lock. I really did. I thought Dolphins were going to take that, but what can I say?
I did too, because, you know, typically the Miami Dolphins, if one thing, you know, there's the narratives against the Miami Dolphins. We can't win in cold weather. We can't beat the good teams. But the one thing the Miami Dolphins have been able to do in the Mike McDaniel era with Tua is beat the mediocre teams, beat the bad teams. And I don't see the Colts as a good team.
Right.
So I thought for sure that we were going to come out there and beat up on the Colts. You know what I mean? We're talking Daniel Jones. We're talking, you know, I thought our front seven defensively was good. I thought our offensive line had improved, although we suffered a key injury to our number 1 free agent 3 plays in. James Daniels out for multiple weeks. You know what I mean? So, but again, I would not be surprised if we came out and played the same way versus New England as we did Indy, because there's just so many disastrous plays. We just look so bad that there's deeper issues than just one single bad game. But then again, I can see the other side of it, where Tua comes out and has 3-4 touchdown passes, because that's what Tua does. He gives people, you know, at times he looks like he's a top 5 quarterback, and then other times he doesn't look like he belongs in the league. You know what I mean? And that's why I've had so much hope with Tua Tagovailoa, is because he's shown me glimpses of being this quarterback that could take us to the promised land. But there's far too many instances of him not being able to get the job done, and
bad decisions taken, getting hurt, obviously. I get it. I think, because I agree. I think Tua has the potential. I thought he had the potential. I mean, last year I talked Tua up. Like, I like Tua. I think when he's on, and he's a really good quarterback. He can be in the top 10. Like, no lie. He's excellent. But I don't know. Like I said with my Giants, I think it comes down to mostly the coaching and decisions made, obviously, for your franchise. And I think, unfortunately, both of our franchises are kind of lacking in the smart decisions. I mean, we definitely should have addressed the problem that we've had for 10 years in the O-line. And you guys should have addressed, obviously, certain things that they didn't address on their offseason as well, that I know you're probably upset about. So,
yeah, they think they're smarter than everybody else. Oh, you guys are more worried about the offensive line. You guys are more worried about the cornerback room. Everybody, as far, you know, most people were against giving Tua the contract extension before. Why not let him play his year 5?
Yeah.
Why are you so eager? Because he's threatening to sit out? Sit out then. Sit out. I'll be goddamn before I give you $60 million a year when you've had one healthy season.
Right.
Give me a break. Oh, well, the contracts are what the contracts are. You know what I mean? Like, since when? I think it's so ridiculous that this day and age, you come up for a contract extension and automatically you got to get paid top 5 money. Are
Right.
you a top 5 quarterback? No. Then why I got to give you top 5 money?
Exactly.
Oh, you're ranked 15th in the league? Well, who's the 15th top paid wide quarterback in the league? Let's start there.
Right.
And I think it's absolutely ridiculous that, you know what I mean, that
What?
these players become available, or these players come up for contract extensions, and it's already talking about, well, I got to be the highest paid quarterback at, you know what I mean? Like, Josh
yeah,
Allen gets paid less than Tua. Lamar Jackson gets less than Tua. Pat Mahomes gets less than Tua. That is a joke. That's a joke.
Yeah, why sit there? Why sit there, not play his 5th year, but instead you put yourself in a corner. You put your team in a position where you're money wise, you're screwed because you just, like you said, he's one healthy season. He's always concussed, or he's always this, and it's that's a lot of money to give somebody who I just don't think has taken the team where he's capable of. I think he's capable of doing it, but until you prove that, you're not worth that kind of money. And you're sure as hell not worth that.
He's
You're
not
not worth that.
capable of it because he's not consistent enough. He doesn't show up in the biggest moments. You know what I
Right.
mean?
Yeah.
Like I said, there's times that he looks like a top 10 quarterback, but there's far and away too many times where you're below average or horrible. And he was offended. Omar Kelly asked him about, you know, him turning the ball over in bunches. And he had no idea what Omar Kelly was talking about. He had no idea. I think I might have it over here, actually, the conversation. And I didn't go over it in my morning shit, even though I was going to. So yeah, anyway, Omar Kelly asked him, are you pressing? You know, it seems like you turn the ball over and then these turnovers become press. You know, it seems like you turn over the ball in bunches. And Tua said, I wouldn't say I'm pressing. I would say it's part of the game. You obviously don't want to turn the ball over. I thought that was a wild comment that I turned the ball over in bunches. That's crazy. It just so happened that happened today. It was what it was. Got to move forward from that. Can't make those same mistakes. And then they asked him about it again today, and he still didn't. You know, they gave him an opportunity to back out of it, and he still was like, he was ignoring what the real question was. But then here, Tagovailoa now has 18 games where he's committed multiple turnovers compared to just 13 games with one. In other words, the data backs up the wild comment that Tagovailoa didn't appreciate. It's
Fair
true.
enough.
It's true. When
Fair
Tua
enough.
has a bad, and I knew the game was going to be bad from jump. When he threw that first interception of the game, which if that pass was on the money, it would have been a touchdown. Tyreek had nothing but green grass ahead of him. Literally green grass ahead of him. If he throws that ball on time, look, I'll show you right here. This is the pass. Tyreek's coming out here at the top right-hand corner. Can you see it?
Yep.
The ball's here in the middle. Can you see the ball?
Yep.
Middle of the top. So that's Tyreek coming out. The little red circles where the ball ends up. You see it?
Yep. So over his head and behind him.
Yep. But look at all that clear space in front of him.
Yep. 5 yards in
Tyreek-
front of him. That's touchdown.
Yeah. Not
Even
even
3.
Two,
Or even if
2
he
yards.
even if he put it
Yeah.
on him. Even if he put it on him.
Yeah. But
'Cause
you
that-
sailed it over his head and behind him.
And
That's a
the defenders-
touchdown.
Yeah. That's crazy. Holy cow.
You know what I mean? That would have completely changed the game. And as soon as Tua did that, Tua's not mentally strong enough to come back from that. I knew once he threw that first interception, there was going to be more passes like that. And I was absolutely right. He came back, fumbled the ball, then threw another one. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah. That's crazy. Yeah. Yeah, that's like Russ. I mean, he didn't have a great amount of time, but he did have some. He just can't get to his second reads. He can't get to his second and third reads because he had Slayton wide open up the sideline at one point and couldn't hit that. And then, he made some good passes to the tight end Theo, but he's got cinder blocks for hands on Sunday, so it's frustrating. But I mean, I can see Tua trying to defend himself to a certain extent, but I mean, I don't think that's an overreaction to say what was said to him.
And they gave him an opportunity, so the one reporter asked them, so did you have a chance to think about it? Realize that, maybe that you do get a little, you press a little bit and do turn the ball over. He's like, I don't get what you're trying to ask. Obviously, I'm not trying to turn the ball over. That's not what we're trying to do. No one said you're trying to turn the ball over. We're saying when you do turn the ball over, there's you turn it over multiple times, which is real life. Why are you getting so butthurt? And the fact that he doesn't realize that makes me feel like nobody's criticizing Tua behind the scenes. Like nobody's saying this to him. Like, what's going on, Tua? You're throwing an interception here. Like, why aren't we coming back and forgetting about it and moving on?
And let's be honest,
you turn the ball over and then you start making more mistakes, and they just pile on top of each other. And the fact that nobody has brought that to his attention, and obviously they haven't because he was baffled by the question.
Right.
That shows me that they're not treating him and they're not coaching him up proper.
Yeah. I mean, let's just be real. I mean, he's the quarterback. He's supposed to take responsibility regardless. You come to me and say some stuff like that, it's more like, yeah, I do have a problem with turnovers. When I have turnovers, they can rack up pretty quick, or, at least you got to take accountability, but instead to sit there and try to fight back on that statement, I don't find that leader-like, so to speak. Like Eli'd go out there and get sacked 6 times, throw 2 picks, get their asses kicked, and he's still go in the locker room and say, hey, listen, I got to do better. I can't go out there and throw 3 interceptions and take 6 sacks. And, that's what your leader is supposed to do. So, I mean, that is a little concerning. I did not know about that.
Well, yeah, they it's like they baby him. They're too worried about hurting the guy's fucking feelings, and it's ridiculous. You know what I mean? It could have been easily stated, listen, yeah, I do, after I throw the first one, lots of times that first one puts us behind the 8 ball. So I am trying to make a play to get us back in the game. And, when you're trying to force things a little bit, turnovers happen. So, yeah, I can, that's what happens. And I'm trying to make a play. I'm trying to bring us back. I'm trying to, and yeah, I can understand that when I turn the ball over that, sometimes it can lead to multiple turnovers because I'm trying to bring us back. But the fact that he was so nonchalant about it, the fact that he was offended, the fact that, and we've seen Tua get butthurt a couple times when criticized. Mm-hmm. So it's like, you can't say nothing to Tua. Don't say nothing to Tua. Don't hurt Tua's feelings. Don't make Tua upset. And that's ridiculous. That's why we're not obvious. If that's the case and people aren't saying nothing to Tua, no wonder he is not improving. No wonder he's not growing as a quarterback because he's not being properly coached.
Right. Take accountability. I mean, you're the quarterback. Be the leader. That's what I got. That's all I'm going to say about that. That's all I got for you today, brother. That's all I got for you today.
Yeah, I mean, it's absolutely retarded.
It was a rough week for Giants fans and obviously your Finn posse. So next week's a new week.
It was beyond rough. Beyond rough. It's like the season's over already.
Yeah, facts. I feel that. Damn.
Yeah. But anyway,
so I guess
that's our show. You got anything else, Michael?
I'll see you guys Friday for Pick'ems, I guess.
Oh, let's pick this Thursday night game.
Oh, yeah. Let's do it. Washington, Green Bay. Ooh, doggy.
Ooh, this should be a good one.
Are you going Washington?
You miss Daniel Jones?
No, I don't miss Daniel Jones.
I am not going Washington. This game is in Green Bay, correct?
Yep.
Yeah,
'Cause
Washington
that's where
came out a little slow. I still think Washington's one of the better teams in the league. But at this point, I do not think they're better than Green Bay. I think Green Bay wins this game, and I think that they show that they're one of the better teams in the NFL. I'm going to say 27-20.
All right. I got Green Bay 31-27. You said 27-30? Or
No, 27-20.
20, sorry. All right, cool. Yeah. On the same page there.
Make sure you all like, comment, subscribe to the Game Changers, because again, Game Changers is not going to continue to be showed on Fin Posse Podcast, our Giants, Gridiron Giants. So
Right.
make sure you guys subscribe to Game Changers. The link is up in the, you want to drop it up there one more time? The link is in the comments. It's Thursday night football, which can be a shit game. Yeah, I mean, teams obviously have less time to prepare. Less time to heal their bodies up. Make sure you guys subscribe to that Game Changers channel so you can stay locked in with us. Again, we have a great time over here, and we
Even when we're
have
losing.
fun.
Even when we're losing.
Yeah.
Gotta be confident.
Yeah.
Gotta be confident.
But
Just gotta
we will see you Friday.
Friday, 7 p.m. Eastern time.
Friday.
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 Plays in the zone.
All right. We'll see you later, folks. You know what it is. Fins up forever, baby.
Go Giants. Go Giants. Go Giants. Don't say it.
Big C and Mike Jones, they call the plays in the zone. Spit facts, no cap, straight to the bone. Gritter, roaring gossip, the field's their home. Huddle up, press play, you're never alone. Sunday sermons, but the church is turf. From Lambeau chills to Miami surf. Quarterback questions, they dissect the worth. Dropping gems like they mine the earth. Laces out, the mic stays hot. Breaking down the game, every yard, every plot. From kickoffs to OT, they never forgot. Tune into the squad, this the spot. NFL drama, they break it down surgical. Draft day whispers, moves so tactical. Receiver stretching arms, catches vertical. Big C's laugh hitting, vibes so magical. Mike Jones got stats like a human playbook. Big C's insight sharper than a no look. Halftime debates, better than they should. You fumble the podcast, now you misunderstood. Flags fly, refs blind, penalty stack. They calling out the calls, no sugar, just facts. Fantasy picks, who's carrying the pack? Every week they hit harder than a linebacker smack. Laces out, the mic stays hot. Breaking down the game, every yard, every plot. From kickoffs to OT, they never forgot. Tune into the squad, this the spot. Laces out, the mic stays hot. Breaking down the game, every yard, every plot. From kickoffs to OT, they never forgot. Tune into the squad, this the spot. Sunday sermons, but the church is turf. From Lambeau chills to Miami surf. Quarterback questions, they dissect the worth. Dropping gems like they mine the earth. Laces out, the mic stays hot. Breaking down the game, every yard, every plot. From kickoffs to